Hi guys, I've got a kit review to do with you today. It is the S-priv from Smok. This is the rainbow version. It cost around £50. That was for the kit. You can get the mod on its own, but it was like literally the same price on eBay, so I just thought I might as well get the kit. The mod's not in here, but I'll show you the packaging. It's typical Smok packaging. The mod's there. Inside you've got a battery safety guide, just knocking it over, quality control, instruction manual, which it's fairly thick, it's got a few languages in there, and then you've got inside that at the bottom you've got where your tank would be, spare glass, a couple of vape bands, spare coil, and a load of O-rings and a spare gasket for the fill port. The O-rings, you've got all different colours. These are so that because this kit comes with the light up edition tank, so these O-rings are how you change the colours on your LEDs, which I'll show you in a bit. Both coils, the one that comes in it and this one, are the same. So whether they do different coils for it or not, I don't know. But the ones that I've got are both the same, so I'm not sure. I don't use smok tanks nowadays, so I mean I'm not exactly sure if they do like different things for this particular tank or not. Like I said, I just got it because it was part of the kit, and I thought I might as well for the price. So this is the mod with the tank on top. As I said, I've got the rainbow one. It's the colour, because this is what they call Pristine, I think Smok call it, Pristine Rainbow, and it's really beautiful. The shine, it's lovely. So I'll just give you a quick overview. The batteries go in the bottom, comes off. I prefer mods like this because when they're this tight with the battery door on the back, if I tend to drop them, you can guarantee eventually the magnets will come off and then I end up having to glue them back on. So I prefer these types, they're very easy to use. Inside you've got the plus and minus so that you can put them in, really easy. So when it comes on, you've got Smok. It's 5 clicks on and off, and it's turned on. Now the menu system, I haven't got a pro colour because I was waiting for this one to come out, but as far as I can tell it's the same chip. So if you've got one of those or you've used one, you're going to know anyway. But as you can see, you've got everything on there. You've got your wattage, you've got dual battery indicators so you know life on both your batteries. You've got your voltage, which is down here when you press the button. Ohms, puff counter, it's pretty much everything that you'd normally expect to get on a mod nowadays. To get into the menu system, it's really easy. It's 3 clicks and then you're in the menu system. You use the up and down buttons to navigate through it. So in the first bit you've got all your temperature control, titanium, stainless steel, everything you'd expect. I believe you've got a preheat setting as well, so you can change the how hot it is when you first press the button. Now to get through the menu, you just press the button down and you go into the next page. This one is for your puff counter, so you can reset it, change it to only stop at so many puffs, that sort of thing. The next one is your screen settings, so this is how you change the actual colour of your writing. Mine's on purple. Once you've selected, you press it again, it goes into the next part of the menu. This one is for your LEDs, so you can go through, as you can see there's quite a few colours on there, or you can have it on this setting which basically goes through all the colours every time you click it. Now to get into this bottom bit you have to hold it for a second and then you go down to this bit. What this is basically the style of your light, so you can have it on flash, fade, or just normal. So either it flashes or it fades. That's your 2 options there. Now if you press it again, you go down to the bottom. Now this is how you control the LED. So you can have it off so it doesn't flash, you know, no LEDs. You can have it screen on, so it's on literally all the time. Vaping on, or always on, which means it's on, no, always on, sorry, means it's on all the time. Screen on means it would be on just when your screens are light up. Vaping on is only when you press the button, which is what I have it on, or you can actually have it off. You know, that I mean, if you've got this mod and for the way it looks rather than the LEDs, you can actually turn it off. So I have mine on vaping on because there's just, I don't see the point in having it on all the time. Press it again, say you go to the tick, press it again, and that's what your setting's saved. It's not very complicated menu. So this is how you change the colour of the LEDs, because the LED, as you can see, is actually, it's not attached to the coil like on some of the other tanks that I've used. So I've used an LED one by iJoy that was actually the coils, not the actual tank itself. With this, it is actually, as you can see, it's the tank. So you just take the whichever one you had in, mine was white, and then you place whichever colour you fancied and pop it back, pop the O-ring back on here, and there's another O-ring that you want to change on the top bit to match. So yeah, that's it guys, that's how you change the colours. It's really easy. The only difference that I can tell between this and the tfv8 style, the other tanks I've used, is the coil. Rather than the old tanks have got like a lid here that you screw the coil into that's attached inside. These coils are more like the Aspire coils or the Crown Free coils. It's all in one, screws directly into the top and the bottom. So if you're taking your tank apart to change, to do something, and you take it, you know, you turn it upside down, take it apart. If the coil happens to come out with the base, then there's nothing holding the liquid. The liquid just comes out. So that's something to be aware of. You know, because it's different from the tanks I've used, the smok tanks anyway. Apart from that, there's no difference at all. It's the same way to fill it. Literally the only difference is that it lights up. And it is obviously a 2mm tank. Whether or not you can get extender glass, I don't know, I'd have to look, but you most likely can. I know you can for the other Baby Beast tanks, so you probably can. But as usual, standard 2mm glass. It doesn't come with a spare bubble glass or anything in the box. So yeah, that's about it really. And as you can see, it's quite bright both together. Vapour production off it's really good. All the smok tanks are, I think. I've not had a problem with that with them. Coil life, I haven't been using it exclusively, so because I used my Kylin more than this, but I've had the coil in here for probably 4 or 5 days and it's fine. There was a little bit of a break in when I first put it in, that you don't get with other tanks like my Crown Free, but it's smok coils. I'm not a great fan of smok coils, to be honest, but it's not too bad. It still tastes just the same. The taste hasn't degraded. I mean, some of the coils for the tfv8 and the tfv12, I could go through one of them in 3 days if I was vaping it all day long. So, I mean, I've used it, so and it's still okay. It's not gone. It's not even started to taste bad. One thing I will say about this tank that I find really helpful at night when I'm in bed, if I use this tank at night and you can actually see where your juice is. It is really good for in the dark, really good. That's the only real practical use that you could say. I mean, if you're going to have this tank, then it's going to be for the LEDs, just for the LEDs because you like them. Personally, I think it's a bit much together. One last thing before I go, I'll just show you the tank on a different mod, just in case, you know, you was looking at the tank but you didn't like the S-priv. This is it on one of my other LED tanks, the trigger. So obviously it looks really good on here as well. It's not quite so, because when you hold this like that, it's not quite so much. I've actually been using it on this, because as I said, I do think that the mod and the tank, when they're together, are quite bright. Bit too flashy. It's not, I mean, the tank wasn't the reason that I actually wanted the mod in the first place, although I do like it. But yeah, it works well on any mod really. And you can definitely buy them separately, both the mod and the tank. But I think that's about it really, guys. That's all I can say about it. I would recommend it. I know people have had trouble, you get a lot of comments and stuff about smok mods. I've got this one and I've got a G-priv, and I've not had trouble with either of them. The G-priv I've obviously had longer, but I've had no trouble with it. Tanks on the other hand, yes, I've had leaking issues and coil issues, that sort of thing with their tanks in the past. But the last tank I used of theirs was a tfv8, so anything you know, a bit further along than that, I can't really comment on. So, you know, but so far so good. This tank's been fine. Love the mod. Would recommend it. If I happen to it, I would definitely replace it. I'm really, really happy with it, and I'm really glad that I got it. So that's about it, guys, really. Thank you for watching.